Welcome back to another episode. I am Sticks. This is my best friend and co-host D-Lo, and we are Too Complex. We got a real controversial, drama-filled episode for y'all today. But before we get into the content, you should hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and thank all y'all that subscribe, man. Y'all finally got us our goal of 450. Now we got a goal of 500. So all of y'all that's watching, go ahead and get us to that 500 mark. And hit that notification bell.
Or listening.
Or listening, true. There you go. And hitting that notification bell, you see miss none of these bangers that we drop every single week. Man, we back for another one, D-Lo, man. Back for another one, bro.
We back.
How was your week, my G? You know how we always start out.
Yeah, man. I mean, the week started out good, and I don't know if you can tell by my voice or whatnot, but it ended kind of. I wouldn't say on a sour patch, but I'm a little under the weather. Had a little fever earlier, but you know. Show don't stop. One monkey don't stop. No, what was it? What was it saying? One monkey don't.
Wait a minute. Don't call us monkeys now.
No. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
I know what you're trying to say though. I know what you're trying to say.
What was it though? It was Goody Mob. One monkey don't.
I think they said one monkey don't stop the show. Like but one monkey don't stop the show. Something like that. I think they said that. I thought
it was one monkey don't run a band. I gotta look it up. But anyway, yeah. You know, show goes on, man. We got to get this done. Like I said, I look forward to doing this every week. So
for sure.
What about you? How's your week?
The week was good, man. Got licensed. Boy passed the test.
Congratulations,
my boy. Passed the test, man. So I got licensed. So now it's foot to the pavement, pedal to the metal, man. Trying to go ahead and make the big bucks. Make the big bucks now. So you know, and again, it don't stop the show. You know what I'm saying? It don't stop the show. You know what I'm talking about?
Sound like Louis in Coming to America. And now it's the time to make the big bucks.
Yeah. First, I was on lettuce. No, he said first I was on fries. Now I'm washing lettuce.
And then
comes the big bucks. It see me sitting there like, But again, it don't stop the show, man. This is something that me and D-Lo look forward to every single weekend, bringing y'all this content, bringing y'all this entertainment. So regardless of what's going on out there, we always do this right here. So we good, man. But everything's been cool. Everything's been great, man. It's been feeling real. It's been feeling real good here lately, man. It's been feeling real. From what I went through to what I'm at now, it's been feeling real good, bro.
I was gonna say you deserve it, man. You went through a little bit of ordeal there, some BS if we're being honest, but
for sure,
it is
sure.
what it is. Well, yeah, you definitely deserve it. But let me ask you this question. So since Thanksgiving is on the way this week, happy Thanksgiving to all those. If you're viewing this or listening to this, when this comes out, happy Thanksgiving. What's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Man, so it's a lot. In my family, my family cook. Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen, come on now.
You already know. You've been to the Thanksgiving before. You already know. You know the family cook. I think if I had to say one thing that I love on Thanksgiving, I'm gonna say two things because one is a combination. The combination of that ham and that mac and cheese is outstanding. Okay. I love it. Yeah. But another thing that slept on that my aunt makes the best broccoli casserole, bro. It'd be so good, bro. Oh my God. This is gonna be my third Thanksgiving that I'm not at home, which it makes my heart hurt sometimes, but I'm out here in Washington for a reason. My daughter is the reason why I'm out here. So it's cool. But bro, that broccoli casserole, bro. Oh my God. I miss that broccoli casserole, dog. It's just something about that broccoli casserole. G, what's your favorite, bro?
So, I mean, you know, I'm a sweets guy.
You a sweets guy? I was about to say,
all the desserts.
Say something sweets.
All the desserts, man. The cakes, the sweet potato pies, the cheesecakes, the cookies, all that stuff. The turkey really don't turn up until the day after when you're making all kinds of stuff with it. Sandwiches, turkey salad, whatever the case that you can make with it. Turkey. That's the only time for me it's good, or when it hits. Actually for the actual Thanksgiving meal. I have it on my plate, but I don't really. It's not. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. If I'm going to go with an actual food during the meal, it would probably be stuffing and
I like the stuffing
or dressing. I'm sorry, dressing. We don't say stuffing. Yeah,
dressing.
Yeah, we don't say stuffing. Do you say stuffing or dressing?
I say dressing.
Dressing.
But I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant when you said stuffing.
Yeah. That it's a big disconnect with that. I'm finding. So it's a lot of people that say stuffing. there's a lot of people that say dressing. We all are talking about the same thing. It's just coming in a different fashion. So I think Northerners say stuffing, Southerners say dressing, because I mean, I've never had that type of food out of the turkey.
Me either.
So that's what stuffing is. It's like you stuff it in the turkey. Nah. But you know, I play Madden and stuff. You ever heard of turducken?
Who?
a turducken. It's turkey. It's chicken stuffed in a duck, stuffed in a turkey. John Madden made it. John Madden made it famous, bro. It's called turducken.
Ain't no way.
Yeah, dog. All that meat stacked on top of each other.
Nah, I ain't never. Yeah. I ain't never heard of no turducken. That's some country people folk. That's some country people stuff right there, bro. Because I ain't never seen. Turducken. How can you? Well, I guess. How can you stuff a duck in a chicken in a turkey? That turkey got to be huge.
No, it's the chicken in the duck in the turkey.
Jesus, boy.
Yeah.
Listen. Now, how you
make sure you cook that thing right?
You got to, because it's got. I don't like. That turkey got to be overdone. That turkey got to be overdone because you got to cook it deep enough to get the duck and the chicken to cook too, and you got to be deep frying it. Got to be deep frying.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I've never had it. Like I said, since I play Madden, I only see or have seen it and was like, what the heck is a turducken? And looked it up, and it's a chicken stuffed in a duck stuffed in a turkey.
Nah.
Yeah. Nah, but I mean, so moving on from that though, we just gonna let Drake A/B test us out here?
Like he didn't drop the same album 2 weeks in a row.
He dropped the same album, just added 6 songs, and those 6 songs is fire. Like, he should have had them on the first album, but it's like, listen, dang, bro. Like, okay, you didn't get the acclaim that you are used to getting, so you decided to pull out, drop the same album.
Talking about scary album. Talking about scary
albums. You know what I mean? A lot of the songs on there were dope, though. I fool with it, but it's like we can't let this man just A/B test us. Okay, they ain't like that. Let me put this one out so they can.
But you know what's crazy is? But you know what's crazy is though? I downloaded it and looked at like the track list. And I was like, this is the same goddamn album. I didn't even listen to it, to be perfectly honest with you.
Okay, but
I was like,
the last 6.
The last 6 is different songs. Bet I'm gonna go back. And
so he
6 songs.
It's the same album. So it's the 22 that he released a month ago, and then he added 6 at the end. So like a separate disc or something like that. If we were still doing the physical copies, it would be a separate disc.
Is he calling people out or something? Is he talking shit?
Nah, it's just what we expected for all the dogs to be. It's not the melodic, party stuff, dance stuff. It's like Drake actually rapping and talking about something.
Well, why he didn't just drop an EP?
He's A/B testing us, dog. When you get so big, sometimes you just do what you want to do, and I feel like that's what he did. He's like, all right, listen, like, yeah, people liked it, but it didn't get me the response that I thought I was going to get. So let me put this out and see what they're talking about. And I think for the most part, I've seen good reviews about it.
Good reviews about those 6 songs, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of music, how you feel about Andre 3K dropping a flute?
That's exactly where I was going next.
How you feel about that, D-Lo?
Yeah, man, one of the GOAT lyricists of all time, and he drops an album with no lyrics. At least I don't think it was any lyrics on it.
Zero,
from what I heard.
Zero lyrics.
I mean, but I will say, and I'm mad that we didn't get any lyrics. I can't say I'm entirely mad at the album per se, because it is soothing. It is you see the journey that he's been on for the last since he's last made music. He's trying to find inner peace, and that's what it sounds like in this flute instrumental that he dropped. It's like he's found inner peace in all of these tracks that he released. Why was the title so long though? Like, he put full paragraphs for the titles. Like, what's going on? Drew
I was about
sucks.
to ask you, did you notice the titles of the songs were like long as hell and like full sentences? One of the joints was like, I wanted to drop a rap album, but this is the direction that God had put me in. And then another one was like, the word pussy flows off the lips better than the word.
Yeah. But I mean, like,
what is you on?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he been overseas trying to find himself, trying to find his sanity from I guess the music industry try to turn him dirty, or the entertainment industry try to turn him dirty, and that's what it sounds like to me. It just sounds like it's very soothing. Sounds like it's for inner peace and to get you in that space of enlightenment.
And indeed it is, though, because I'm the type of dude, whenever I'm working from home, I like to play like jazz music and stuff like that. Or like I have my headphones on and I got like rain sounds in my ears. So like I got this big 70-inch TV right here. So I'll play like jazz on there. But yesterday I played his album while I was working. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? And it's 8 songs, but it's an hour and 15 minutes long. So like them songs is like long. 15-minute tracks, bro. I'm like, good gracious, 3K, what you got going on? But nah,
the same length as the titles.
The same. The title's gonna take you 11 minutes to read them.
You know what I mean?
Boy, I'm telling you. But nah, I think it was soothing because I actually listened to it start to finish. And I think I listened to it start to finish more so because I wasn't really paying attention to it. But
well, you were waiting for lyrics to come.
No, I wasn't.
Like,
okay. I didn't expect any lyrics. No, because I knew it wasn't gonna be a lyrical album. I think it's because I basically played it as background noise. And I just wasn't really paying attention to it much. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
I was looking for lyrics, bro.
You was
like, okay, at some point in time, he gonna drop
some point. He gonna come on here.
Give me
rap.
the Andre 3 stacks I want.
I'm telling you, at minute 8, he gonna rap something.
Then
another 7 minutes go by, and then the next track will start. Yeah, but I think it was real soothing. It was real soothing. You can tell what type of journey he, like you said, you can tell what type of journey he's been on for the past decade and a half that he ain't dropped no music. Yeah. So, I mean, I think he was all right. I think it was all right.
Yeah. Now, last thing before we get into,
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go.
I saw something on Instagram last night as I was just laying in my bed trying to fall asleep. That it said that laziness is a sign of high intelligence.
So I tend to agree, and the reason I agree is because, now I know he's been getting a lot of slack for all the things that he's been doing, all the land that he's been buying, all the companies that he's been buying lately, and as of the last couple of years. But Bill Gates once said, if you want to find the most efficient way to do things, give it to a lazy person. And so the reason I think you have to be intelligent to be lazy and still be productive is you find ways to get the job done with as less stress or as less friction as possible. And so in order to do that, you have to be smart to understand what results you're going to get in skipping steps that you probably should take. I'm sorry, babe, but my wife is a perfect example of this. Like, she's super smart. I'm not saying she's lazy, but she will find you the most efficient way to accomplish basically anything. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense to me. And so I've kind of tried to adopt that, but I'm more strategic in stuff that I do. I'm not saying that I'm Captain Energetic. That's far from the truth, but I have to like really plan out what I want to do and how I can skip steps to get the results that I want, where she can just listen to what she has to do. Okay, well, let's do this. What you think, though?
I think there's some truth to it, because just listening to what you said, because at first I was like, I must be dumb as hell there because I'm not very lazy. But I think with what you just explained, I think me and my lady is the same way. Because me, I'm not saying that I'm the smartest motherfucker in the world, but I am just like your wife. Like, I will find the most effective way to get from point A to point B. And I can kind of figure out and think within myself, okay, if I do this, then this is going to happen, and try to figure out, because in like you, where she has to step things out and kind of like plan stuff out because she wants to make sure that she has all of her steps planned before. And sorry, babe, but she wants to make sure she has all of her steps planned out before she actually does something. Me, okay, this is what I got to do. Boom, go do it. And if something happens, I'm gonna overcome it every time.
Analytical.
She's very, for sure. So I think there's some truth too. Just by the statement you made from Bill Gates, if you want to figure out the best way to do something, give it to a lazy person, like you said, and that's true. That they be like, oh, fuck. All right, well, we gonna do this and we gonna skip this step because that shit don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, because but I think there's some truth to it. And when I saw that,
it can get you in trouble sometimes. It can get you in trouble sometimes. Cutting
corners gonna get you in trouble a lot of times.
Yeah, for the most part, as long as you're getting the results, they may not be the best results, but they're getting you the results that you were anticipating. Then, that takes brains to do that.
For sure, I get it. What's the thing you about to say before I jump in?
So I saw something. I was reading on Instagram. Was it Instagram I was on? I don't think I was on Instagram. I was on the internet or something like that, and I saw where they are saying when Steph Curry's contract ends with Golden State, he will be in the open market and probably won't re-sign with Golden State. I feel like that would be a very bad mishap on Golden State's behalf 100%. If they don't bring Steph Curry back. Because you have to give him at least a gratuity contract at that point. He's been with your franchise his whole career. He's been a part of the glory days of re-emerging and resurfacing the program or the organization, and you will just let him walk like that? I mean, I know he's going to ask for an astronomical amount of money. He's one of the highest paid contract-wise right now, but even still, like if you have to get rid of, I don't know. I mean, and he probably is not going to be because he'll be 37, 38 at that time, so he's probably not going to be the Steph that we are used to. But I mean, he's shooting a basketball. If he can shoot and run around, which he probably will, probably in great shape, you have to at least offer that man a gratuity contract to keep him there, to have him retire. Because there's not many people that play with one team their whole career.
It's not many. The only not even Jordan did it because he was with the Wizards. So you can't say Jordan.
Yeah, Kobe, Dirk.
Kobe, Dirk.
Tim Duncan.
In that case, David Robinson. A lot of Spurs stay there for the whole time. A lot of Spurs stay there for their whole career, to be honest. But the most recent ones, like you said, have been Kobe and Dirk with one franchise for their whole career. But Steph has been in the league for 15 years. All of them would go to State. And like you said, went through the glory days, the dynasty days, and now the Draymond kicking niggas in the nuts and choking niggas days. We're going to talk about it here in a second. And he's been through all of that. We've been through all of that with Steph. And like you said, if that franchise doesn't bring Steph Curry back for everything that he's done for that franchise, went through injuries with that franchise, he's literally stuck it through with a dying franchise that he was drafted to now for what he has helped build that franchise into. If they don't give him another max contract to keep him there for another at least 4 years, they would be dumb. They would be dumb to do that. And I think the way he's in shape, like you said, the way he runs around that court, he got to be in crazy shape because he just be moving and he never stops moving on the court. So he got to be in crazy shape. So I feel like he can do that for another 3-4 years as long as his ankles hold up like they've been doing for the past, he ain't had an ankle injury in the last, I think 5-6 years, maybe. Yeah. So that was what was killing his career at the beginning until he got his ankle straight and stuff like that. So they got to give him a contract. There's no way they can't give Steph a contract. No way.
Yeah. I mean, he is the Warriors franchise, and to not bring him back when his contract ends, I think he's supposed to make $50 million the last years of his contract. Even if he asked for $52 million, you got to give it to him. Because I mean, like, I don't know. I just feel like they would really drop the ball if they don't allow Steph Curry to finish his career with Golden State. Because I know he would want to stay there. At least I expect him to. Maybe he wants to shop around, but he's been with that organization for a long time.
I doubt Steph will shop around. I think but he's not the type of guy you can give. You can't treat Steph like Udonis Haslam. You can't treat him like Udonis. You have to give him a contract because he's going to be effective when he's on the court, regardless of how old he gets. He's going to be effective. So, but they got to. They got to do it for Steph. They got to do it for Steph. But getting into the content, D-Lo. So Draymond Green is out here choking fools, bro. What's going? Yeah. So they were in a game against the Timberwolves, and Clay got into a scuffle. Rudy Gobert comes over to try to break up the scuffle from what I saw, and all of a sudden here comes Draymond with basically an RKO, like sleeper hold on Rudy Gobert. From what I saw was literally for no reason at all. Like he just be out there, and I saw a stat, and I'm gonna talk about this in a second. But D-Lo, you posed the question to me when we were talking about what our topic was gonna be. Do you think the NBA getting soft? Do you think the NBA getting soft?
So I don't think the players are getting soft. I know they hate when older generations or generations past, whether that's the NBA or fans, say that the NBA is soft now. I don't think current NBA players are soft. I think the league and the rules that they implement and they try to enforce and all that, I think the league is making it soft for whatever reason. And the reason I asked that is because Draymond Green received 3 games for
5
that choke. 5. Oh, it's 5. 5 now. Okay.
5.
I think it was originally 3 and now it's 5 for that choke. I recall no blows were thrown. And to me it didn't look, and I could be wrong, but to me it didn't look that bad. Like, yeah, he had him in a chokehold, and it was a long time that he had him in a chokehold. but it didn't look like terribly bad. Like he was trying to end him. Like he was trying to put him to sleep. Like he did have him in a chokehold though. But to get 5 games for that, to me, is like, how soft can we be? Because if you recall back in the day, I know you've seen a lot of pictures where cats was like squaring up and ready to throw hands and whatnot. So to me, I think the league and the rules that they're enforcing and the rules that they have implemented is what is making the league soft again, in my opinion.
So, I mean, I guess going back to the bad boy Pistons days and, whenever, like when Charlie Ward and Kobe done squared up and, and stuff like this, right? We've seen what the late 90s, early 2000s NBA used to look like. Shoot, I mean, late 80s, 90s, and early 2000s used to look like. We've seen that 2.5 decade string of what the NBA used to look like. And right. I think it's kind of like, well, I guess it's gonna make you a point. It's kind of like it's now safety is a thing now in all professional sports, especially football. And football is, and a lot of NFL players have come out and say we might as well play flag because the NFL has gotten soft. But just looking at that play, bro, anybody else, I promise you, anybody else other than Draymond Green would have just got in and tried to break it up or grab somebody by the waist or try to pull somebody away. Yeah. Nobody other than Draymond would have put somebody in the chokehold.
Draymond is a modern day enforcer.
I don't give a fuck, bro. Okay, he didn't have to do that, bro. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that. He literally had. And like you said, he had him in a chokehold for a long time. It looked like Rudy Gobert was like trying to get air.
I didn't see it that way. I saw because he kept just putting his hands up. Like, dang, is he gonna let me go?
Bro was tapping, bro. You ain't see that? Bro was like,
well, I mean, anybody around your neck, regardless if it's a tight hold or not, you're gonna be like, and it's unexpected. You're gonna like, man, hey, bro, get off my neck. No, you know what I'm saying? That's where your airway is.
I think bro had ill intentions. I just me personally. I think bro had ill intentions because if you see his face,
Draymond's history,
bro was grinding on some shit. Like he was really he was trying to take Rudy Gobert out, bro. And do I think the NBA is getting soft? Yes, I do think it's getting soft. Just to answer the question, but did he deserve the 5-game suspension? Hell yeah, he deserved it.
Because it's like he deserved 5 games. I think he did 3 games in a fine.
No, bro, an ejection. He probably gonna still get fined. But okay, maybe 5 games is a little bit extensive. But was it deserved? Yes. But 3 games would have been enough. 2-3 games would have been enough.
last year in practice with stepping on Sabonis his chest last year. I think because of the history of these type of acts coming from Draymond is why he got the 5 games. But like I said, to me, like I know he had his arms and his hands around the dude's neck, so that in and of itself is damaging enough. But it didn't. You said it looked like he had ill intent, and he probably did, but I don't think it was like tight enough to do anything. It didn't look that bad to me, but I only saw small clips. I didn't see the whole interaction from start to finish. But I mean, I just think the NBA with the rules that they're pushing is starting to be a little soft, because it would just been a fine back in the day. Oh yeah, fine him. He'll play tomorrow.
Well, okay. So the stat that I saw that I talked about in the intro of the segment was that every time Steph Curry doesn't play, Draymond gets ejected. It's been 6 times that Steph and Draymond didn't play together that he has gotten ejected. He gets ejected every time Steph doesn't play. So like what I want to know, I don't think it's, but it's starting to become a trend because shit, 6 times is 6 times. But I want to know like what goes through Draymond's head. Is it like, damn, Steph ain't playing, so we probably ain't gonna win. So let me just get the fuck up out of here. Like, I don't think it's that, but it's like, bruh, like, you think he's trying to do what?
Maybe he's trying to get a night off without getting a night off.
That goes to my point. But then you get 5 nights off, probably a fine, like
which is unnecessary.
Which is unnecessary. The whole situation was unnecessary to begin with. He didn't have to choke Buddy. Like you come out here and Draymond just be. I think he's taking the modern day enforcer shit way too far. I believe.
Yeah.
It makes no sense that you doing all this. You wilding out. He kicking people, stepping on people, choking people now. Like the way that he goes about. It was a highlight reel on Instagram that I saw that was 2.5 minutes straight of just dirty Draymond plays. Like, this dude is off the chain. And I mess with Draymond off the court, but I do not like the player that he is, bro. I don't like watching Draymond play, especially that. I know you saw me and Marcus. Shout out to Uncle Demi out there. I know you saw me and Marcus talking about like a couple of playoffs ago where this dude he gets the ball in his hands. He does not want to shoot the ball. He don't want to do nothing. He just want to be out. Brothers be out there sometimes. Like, yo, Draymond, do something, bro. Like, I don't like the player that he is.
If you had the caliber of shooters that you had on your team running around you,
butt naked, I'm at the 3-point line, and the closest person to me that's guarding me is at the free throw line. Bitch, I'm shooting. I'm shooting it.
I think anybody would, but I think in Draymond's case, you got the greatest shooter of all time, arguably the second, third, top five shooter of all time, and then you have other shooters on the team too. If they leaving you open, it's for a reason. Let me find a person. He's like a very, very poor man's LeBron James. But let me make a play.
Whoa, wait a minute. Compare Draymond to LeBron is.
I said a very, very poor man. I said a very, very poor man's.
I hear you.
LeBron James. Yeah. It's basically what I'm saying is they have similarities in their game, but it's definitely not at the same level. Draymond obviously serves a purpose on the Golden State Warriors. He's been a part of that dynasty I wouldn't say just as long, but almost as long as Steph and Clay. I think him and Clay came in the same class.
He's been a part of the dynasty as long as Steph, but he hasn't been a part of the franchise as long as Steph.
Okay, yeah. So he's been a part of that dynasty. So he definitely serves a purpose. But me personally, I just feel like the fine or the suspension, 5 games, is a bit much.
You think it's too much?
I think it's excessive, bro. I think it's excessive.
I think he deserved it. But like you said, though, but I do agree. I think it's deserved, but I do agree what you said, that if it was anybody other than Draymond, they would have got a game or two, maybe. Yeah. But since Draymond has the track record that he has, he dead ass deserved that 5 games because of who he is. Just because of who he is and what he's been known to do and the player that he's been known to be, he deserved that 5 games because I don't even think he got any ejections for kicking old boy for kicking twice. He kicked Steven Adams twice in the nuts. 2 back-to-back games. I feel like it was. I can't remember if it was or not, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, y'all. But because I know y'all gonna do it. But it felt like it was 2 back-to-back games when they was in that series against OKC that he kicked old boy in the nuts twice, back-to-back. And like, it's just like you kicking people in the nuts, and he made it seem like he was flailing, but he did it on purpose. You could tell he did it on purpose. Stepped on old boy on purpose. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he got in them scuffles with LeBron, and LeBron probably, antagonized him a little bit, but he got into them scuffles with LeBron in the series whenever they win the finals. And like, it's like, bro, like this dude is he's just known to be the offense initiator and the enforcer. That's what I think he is. But I think he deserved it.
So apparently the beef between Druski and Birdman has escalated as Birdman took to his Instagram to show off the could have been records chain he and his crew snatched from Druski, with also video evidence coming out to highlight the event. Sticks, do you think this beef is real?
I think it's very much one-sided. I think that Druski is he's a comedian. He's a comedy. He's a comedian. He's he got big on social media, and he's doing I think Druski's doing a parody. He's trying to do a parody of Birdman and Cash Money Records with his Could Have Been Records parody record label that he has. And he got a whole reality TV show with people, auditioning for the record label and stuff like that. I think Druski thinks it's a parody, but I think Birdman is dead ass about Druski stepping on his toes, basically, with the whole the logo looks about the same. Could have been sounds like Cash Money, low key. Like this is a whole bunch of stuff, and it's just like it's too close to what he built. Basically, is what Birdman is saying. It's way too close to what he built, and he don't understand. Birdman is so much of a gangster. Quote, I'm gonna put the air quotes. He's so much of a gangster that he don't understand comedy for real life.
You know that man record before Cash Money.
That's true. But he's so much of a gangster that it's like you don't understand the comedic value behind what Druski's doing. He's not being serious about this shit. I don't think he really trying to have something that you have or trying to step on your toes. He's just being a comedian. He's just being who he is. And he even said it on the live. He was like, bro, like I won't even trying to do nothing like that. Like, and Birdman was on the live and it was like, yo, like, I see what you're doing, little nigga. Like, I see what you're doing, with the whole little situation you got going on. And I fuck with it, but I don't fuck with it type shit. And in the live, you could tell that Birdman was dead ass. And Druski was like, bro, like, what are you talking about? Like, but Druski was dead ass scared for good reason. But Druski was just like, bro, like I had no intention on doing anything like that, Birdman, like for real. Like, and then at the end of the joint, Birdman, he got off the live, and Druski was like, bruh, Birdman gonna kill us. Like, because he was dead ass scared, but he don't understand why Birdman's so mad. He was like, bro, it's a parody. Like, it's a parody, bro. Like, I'm just creating content. I'm just being who I am. I'm just being a comedian. And it's like, he just don't understand it. Like, Birdman don't understand. He don't like it because he think he's stepping on his toes. And Birdman already think he don't get no respect for, hence the famous phrase, put some respect on my name. He already think people don't respect him like that. So he gotta show his gangster. He gotta show his gangster at all times. And the whole situation where Druski getting his chain snatched, like, I'm gonna ask you this question. Do you think Druski is really trying to have a record label? The reason why I ask is because whenever he got his chain snatched, he was having like a studio. He was in the studio with some, I guess, artist that was supposed to be what could have been. And Birdman got wind of it and pulled up on Buddy. And he had some goons with him, and they snatched him out. They snatched the chain off of him, and Druski went to running. I do that shit why are you in my way, bruh? You're always in my way, cuz. But I don't know. Do you think he really trying to start a record label, bro?
No, I don't. I don't think this is real. I don't think the beef is real either. I think it's an elaborate hoax that everybody that is involved from Cash Money, everybody that he's brought into lives or posts or stuff like that, I feel like they're all in on it. Why? I don't know. But when it comes to social media content now, I've said this a couple times, like I don't know what to believe. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to go to the whole opposite end. I don't believe any of it anymore because especially when you talk about comedians, because like comedians have been getting, I think it's starting to come back to what it used to be back in the day, but the last 4 or 5 years, comedians have been getting canceled left and right for stuff that they say on stage or stuff that they post online. So now like they have to be more clever and find ways to entertain us and get that comedic value out of everything. And so with that being said, they go to great extents to get a laugh out. The reason I don't think it's real is because I can't in my mind believe that Birdman is taking this that seriously. Gangster or not, you have some humor in you somewhere. Whether you think he's stepping on your toes or not, you clearly know the difference between comedy and if somebody's like trying to intrude on your territory, which is Cash Money Records. Mm-hmm. So I can't take it serious. The way the first time he came on live with him, where he was like, "I see what you're doing and I like it, but I don't like it." You could see him like trying to hold in a laugh here and there. And I know Druski's funny, but I don't know. I can't take this serious and feel like this is a real beef. Even the CCTV, the closed circuit TV video that was released, like Druski.
Is that what that stands for? Closed circuit? I thought it started candid camera. Yeah. I thought it said
no, bro. It's closed circuit TV.
You learn something every day. Yeah. Don't call me dumb in the comments. I promise
you don't want to just say you think you're smart because you know how to be efficient.
I promise you. I promise you I ain't lazy.
Nah, but even that video footage, while Druski did look scared, something just didn't look right about it. And I could be wrong. And like I said, when we talked about Joe Smith in that situation, social media could have conditioned me so bad to not really believe everything and question everything online. But it just, in my mind, I can't think this is real. And then also Druski's talking about the song, and again, I know he's a comedian, but the song that Drake had, I forgot the name of it, but he's took my song, and then Drake puts a post up. I will say this, Drake has been on many other social media comedians' pages in their skits and whatnot. I don't think Drake is really upset that Druski is playing, like saying that he took his song. Lil Wayne, but
Drake ain't gangster though. Drake, I wouldn't expect Drake to do that.
He's not
anyway.
Gangster. He's not gangster, but
Drake is an actor. Like, Drake is an actor in his own right, just like Druski. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. You helping me make my point. I think it's a whole elaborate plot to like get some entertainment value. I was watching, I think it was Beehive podcast or something like that, where they had Lil Turk or Young Turk on there, and he was asked about that situation. This was a month or so ago, and he was like, he didn't act as if it was as serious as Birdman is making it. Like he was laughing the whole time. So to me, I just don't think it's real. I say all that to say I don't think it's real.
I think it's that's why I just say I think it's one-sided. I think Birdman is serious about what he said as far as offering him, a contract for Could Have Been to come on the Cash Money and yada yada.
Why would he do that though if it's a parody record label?
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I think Birdman is dead ass. I think Birdman doesn't think this is parody. I think Birdman thinks that Druski is stepping on his toes. And to get back to the Drake point, Drake ain't taking it serious because Drake understands parody. Drake understands comedy. Drake understands acting because Drake was an actor in his own right. This nigga Birdman has been a gangster since gangsters came out.
OG.
When it comes, he's an OG. So this Birdman is like you're trying to do something that I already built, and you stepping on my toes. And as a gangster, as a I gotta assert my dominance. I dead ass think Birdman is trying to assert his dominance and try to dethrone Could Have Been Records, which is a parody, because he thinks it's real. He thinks he's curtailing off Cash Money. I think he really believes that.
Okay. If this was real, and if Druski was really scared as everybody thinks he is, or as some thinks he is, then when he got his chain snatched, I know you got to save face and you got to show like you hard and this and that. I don't know Druski's past. I don't know what he was doing before he was an Instagram comedian or a social media comedian. But I like we've mentioned, I do know Birdman's past based off of what we've read about and heard about prior to him opening up Cash Money Records. Mm-hmm. If this was real, I don't think Druski is gonna put a reply out talking about we coming for that chain and I just don't see that happening. That's just me. And I could be wrong about this, and if I've been wrong about plenty on this podcast before in my takes. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I just feel like this is all a highly elaborate plan to get some views for Druski, to get clicks and to make him a household name. And he probably is secretly signed under Cash Money already. We just don't know it.
True. I mean, it all could be a publicity stunt. It all could be a hoax. It all could be a ploy. I just think this nigga Birdman crazy, bro. Yeah. And I think, like you said, he got to save face though. He got to say something saying we coming for that chain. But in the back of his mind, he know if he go do some crazy shit, Birdman gonna kill that. Birdman ain't got he just as cold blooded as everybody know that boy. That man cold blooded. He ain't going back to get that chain. He probably done went back and got another one. He got another one made because Druski got bread now. So he done went and got another one made and he cool. And he probably gonna flash it like he went back and got it. Mm-hmm. We all know that nigga went and bought another one. But Druski, I don't think Druski that type of guy. He not going back to get that chain. But I don't know, man. I think I know we were both on opposing sides for once in Too Complex History. But I mean, it's like, I don't know. I think it's one-sided. I just think it's one-sided.
I mean, it very well could be. I'm not negating that. Just in my opinion, in the videos that I viewed, I'm like, I don't think this is real. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. Conversation for another day.
For sure. Getting into the next topic, D-Lo. So Terrance Howard, we all know the famous movie Hustle and Flow. We all know the famous movie Hustle and Flow. And Terrance Howard did his thing on that joint. Mm-hmm. Comes out and says that he only got $12,000 for that movie. Only got $12,000 for one of the biggest movies in his career. Mm-hmm. And now is alleging that Paramount owes him, quote unquote, 20 years worth of residuals and performance royalties. D-Lo, do you think they owe this man that bread?
So I think in his mind they do owe him that bread. But I always say I hate that corporations take advantage of the little guy. Mm-hmm. This to me is one of those situations. After reading through it, this is one of those situations where the little guy got taken advantage of by the corporation. And to me, there's no way that Terrance Howard, early in his career, late in his career, whenever that part was, is going into a movie as one of the lead roles, only accepts a little bit of only accepts a little bit of cash and gets no residuals on the back end with the movie itself and with the songs that he has performed in that movie or that soundtrack. But if you signed a contract and up until this point you have not received any money, probably somewhere in that contract it said this is the money that you will receive, this is what you will receive. If we hit these multipliers, this is what you don't receive if XYZ happens. So he probably signed a contract thinking, this is my shot. I'm going to take it, do the best I can with it. We all know the rest is history. After Hustle and Flow, he kind of blew up with other roles in The Best Man and all these other like crazy, where he's the crazy boyfriend movies, and then he was in Empire on Fox, and so we all know who Terrance Howard is. But early in his career, he apparently this was like the first big movie that he had, and so in my opinion, he was taken advantage of. And he signed a contract that he probably shouldn't have signed. Rashad Bilal, part of Earn Your Leisure, it's a lot of stuff that he says that I don't agree with sometimes, but it's one thing that he said that I do agree with when talking about contracts and bad deals. He said there are no bad deals in the moment. If you signed the deal, it obviously was not a good deal to you. Obviously was not a bad deal to you at that point in time. It's just after the fact, when you realize that you were taken advantage of, that it is a bad deal. So again, we don't know what the contract was for Hustle and Flow for Terrance Howard, but I'm assuming he signed a bad contract in retrospect, and now we're in this situation.
Then the thing about movies and record deals and stuff like that is you can't predict what the sales are going to be. You know what I'm saying? You put in content, you put entertainment out for people, and you don't know how people are going to receive it before it goes live or before it hits the main stage or the big screen. You don't know how it's going to do. So once Hustle and Flow grossed $75 million, once it grossed $75 million, it's like, now, damn, I signed this contract with no incentives, just $12K. I don't know what the contract is. I'm just speculating. This is just, just me, what I'm saying, talking about it. I signed this contract for $12K. I ain't get no residuals. I got, they didn't have no, just like D-Lo said, they ain't have nothing to say. If it hits this cap right here, then you gonna get this, or if it exceeds this number, we gonna get this. It had no residuals in it. So like you said, whenever you sign the contract at the beginning, you can't anticipate what the movie's gonna do. So you have to be steadfast in your contract signing to say, okay, I don't see anything in this. Most people don't read contracts. That's the problem. Most people just don't read contracts. Most people just like, okay, cool, this is how much I'm getting. All right, bet, sign. But you got to be like, okay,
we got to have lawyers go over that.
You do, bro. You got to have lawyers go over all of that. You got to say, okay, I see that I'm getting $12K now, but what am I getting at this point or at that point or at that point to say, okay, I'm going to get more as this movie blows up? Because it was a really good movie. I liked the movie. I thought the movie was great. But he also said too in there that Paramount had the songs that he performed in the movie not sung by him or performed by him, by Terrance Howard. They said they had it performed by somebody named DJ. I don't even know who DJ is.
That was his character in Hustle and Flow, DJ.
Oh, got you. Oh, that's right. I thought they were saying like the DJ, like the person, like a disc jockey type shit. That's what I thought.
No, I was saying DJ, him.
Yeah. So performed by DJ. So and he, of course, he didn't own the rights to the name. So he can't get the money off of those songs. So
and that's what I'm saying. Like somewhere in that contract, it had to be some fine print of something where they made sure that Paramount was protected and Terrance Howard would get the bad end of the stick. Because there's no way that you don't know that they're going to make it DJ and not Terrance Howard once they release that soundtrack and that song that you perform, because we all know that was actually him singing that song and all that stuff. So like I don't know, I feel it's unfortunate, it really is, and I feel for Terrance Howard. And if he's able to find a way, because he's super smart, he has some new math something that he's got going on right now with math, where he's saying like multiplication doesn't make sense because we'll have to talk about it. I don't know the full dynamics of it. I just know he has like some type of new math that he's trying to introduce.
Gotcha.
And it's like, damn, he came up with this. I don't know or not, but he's really smart. So if he can find a way to get the residuals and the back pay for all that he did or all that went on with Hustle and Flow, that's great. But if he signed that contract and all that information in there, it's nothing that he can do.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, because it's been 18 years at this point. It's been 18 years. And because the movie came out in 2005, but I'm pretty sure they pre-record. So they probably took them 2 years to record it. So it's probably been 20 years. So I do you think they'll settle though? I think they'll give him something. I don't think because like a big corporation like that, most big corporations want to avoid bad press. So if they're feeling like what, because I know the cliche that all publicity is good publicity. I get it, I understand, but I don't know. Maybe somebody like Terrance Howard. If it was somebody, well, I can't even say that no more because the way he been getting dragged. I was about to say if it's somebody like Will Smith, but can't even really say that no more because he losing respect in the game too. But maybe somebody like Terrance Howard, they're gonna look at like, nigga, whatever. But I mean, no, I think they should give him something. But why not say this after it grows 75 mil? Why bring that? And we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about a similar situation like that too. Why talk about it now, 20 years later? Like, why not say something after you saw how much it grossed and say, okay, well, where my residuals at? Because now it's just like you waited too long to ask for your bread. You know what I'm saying? But do you think they might give him something?
If it's in that contract, he's not getting anything.
Very true.
That's how I feel about it. And you are right. Like in this instance, Paramount, who's a major film studio, will probably want to save face and make sure that they do right. It sounds weird saying this, but make sure that they do right by their actors and actresses. Mm-hmm. But we just came out of a writer's strike, an actor's strike.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If it's in that contract, I feel like he's just asked out because he signed it. You know what I mean? Like you signed it. And again, we don't know what was in the contract. So if they finagled something, they just didn't give him money, then it's bad on their behalf. But if it's in that contract and he signed it, I don't know what I can say. I just pray, we don't get in that situation. And if we do get in that situation, we're smart enough to discover it and learn from it. Because really, if we put our name on that dotted line and all of that is laid out in the contract, us fighting it is really going to be null and void.
Because he signed the contract, like you said.
Right.
But I think we're smart enough. I think we're lazy enough. I think we're lazy enough to actually read the contract and have somebody else go over it and say, okay, what's the pros and cons? What's going on in this contract to kind of see exactly what we're signing. I think we're smart enough to do that. But yeah, if he signed it, then I guess he SOL.
I mean, desperate times call for desperate measures. This was early in his career. He probably didn't have. I don't know his lifestyle prior to him blowing up as a movie star, but probably was in dire straits at that time, and this role came at the right time. $12,000 was probably just enough to keep him going, keep him inspired. Sign the contract, and now it blows up. And at the time, he can't realize what he can do, but as he continued to move up in the actor's field and become who we know him as today, he's like, man, let me say something. Again, we just came out of actor strike and writer strike, so them checks is drying up. So
very true.
I'm not counting his pockets, but I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. I just hope, well, I mean, he was going through that whole thing with ALS too, so. Or was that just a show?
Boy, you meshing all kinds of stuff together.
I'm meshing real life in with them.
Yeah, no, that was on Empire, dog. What in the world is going on? Damn.
I told you I ain't lazy, nigga.
You efficiently and lazily just put shit together.
Just throwing shit together. But hopefully, something comes of it. I mean, I don't think it will.
Let me make sure I ain't tripping now.
No. You ain't. You're not. Don't look it up. You ain't got to.
I'm looking it up, bro.
Don't look it up. You ain't got to. It's the show. I promise you it's the show. Bro. He ain't got no ALS. That was in Empire, G.
it was in Empire. Yeah. What's going on with you, bro?
Bro, listen. I last week I said, damn, Taylor Swift was R&B.
Yeah, dog.
I don't know what the hell going on with me. But anyway, but Terrance Howard, if you sign that contract, you toast, bro. Just period. You toast. You ain't getting no residuals from that. And I'm hurt that it happened to you, but it's a wrap for you, cuz.
Yeah. So as quickly as it came out, it was taken away and settled. Singer Cassie, who was once Diddy's longtime girlfriend, sued him, claiming that he used to abuse her in more ways than one during their relationship together. And apparently, a day later, it was settled. So, Sticks, what are your thoughts on this situation? I know I was very, very bland with that intro, but
all good.
I think it's a lot to this that, not giving shit away. But what's your thoughts on this situation?
So Diddy has had a reputation of being a weird cat for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has had a reputation for being like dabbling in a lot of different things that, the world of Hollywood is quote unquote known to be dabbled in. You know what I'm saying? Hollywood, they call it Holly weird, and they call it, the land of the devil, city of the devil. Hollywood has been known, and Diddy has been, alleged to have dabbled in a lot of these things for a long time now, from his elaborate parties to a lot of different things that he's been doing. And Cassie at age 19 was his lady. They were in a relationship early on in her career for a little bit. And she comes out and says that she was a victim of a lot of different things, and a lot more trafficking to SA to a lot of, you didn't see that?
Man, listen,
I'm telling you, bro, it's crazy what she came out and said, bro. So, and it's,
so if she came out and said all of that, how do you, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. I'll get into that when I,
okay.
How do you settle amicably then if she comes out and says all that?
I think it's a matter of public perception, because Diddy, I think he's just trying to save his persona, honestly. Because if he actually did all these things, which it's not, with the Me Too movement, it's not beyond reproach. You know what I'm saying? It's not beyond it at all. So if he indeed did do all these things, and then Thursday she dropped the bomb, Friday he settled, I think settling that quick is just to save face, basically. Because and that just kind of proves that the nigga guilty, to be perfectly honest. Because if it's me, dog, and it's it's just like the Trevor Bauer situation, bro. I go back to that a lot, because that young lady literally tried to frame Trevor Bauer and say that he did some things to her that he didn't do. And he came out and said he was ready to fight, no matter how much money it was going to cost. He wasn't looking forward to getting no money from her. He was just trying to make sure that he saved his name, because he didn't do any of these things that this lady said that he did to her. But in the matter of Diddy, he didn't try to fight anything at all. He just said, you know what? Take this bread. Shut the fuck up.
Well, he originally came out and said, like, it's unequivocally false and fabricated. And to me,
fabrication means that the truth is stretched. To me, that's what fabrication means. Like, something happened, but it's not to the extent that she said it was. That's what fabrication means to me.
Yeah, we don't, and that's a great point. First off, we don't know the magnitude of that situation. We don't really know that situation at all. Just know that allegations were made. Day later, it was settled. And so the truth, what you said about there is some truth to it, but it's drastically stretched, which is why, to me, I believe like there is truth on both sides. And again, I'm not saying that this situation is true or not, but it has to be truth on both sides. If one day you come out and say some wild accusations about somebody, and the next day it's settled, and you both release a statement basically saying the same thing, that we've decided to settle amicably, which means in a friendly manner. Ain't no friendly manner when you said that I did this and that. What you mean?
What's friendly about this? Ain't nothing friendly about this. Right. And I get that too, D-Lo, but it's just, the whole situation is weird. And before we started recording, I said I was going through some Facebook conversations about people talking about this whole situation. And so it was this one young lady and this one young man going back and forth. And of course, it's always a question of timing. You were with this man from 19 up until however old. I don't know.
On and off until like 30, I believe they said.
Yeah. So on and off until about 30 years old, for like 11 years?
I think 30 or 35, somewhere in that range.
Well, she's 37 now. She's 37 now.
Yeah. So
So
30, yeah.
so if you were going through all of these things for 11 to 12 years, and now all of a sudden at 37 you want to, it's always a question for me for timing, bro. Like,
Well,
and I
it is a
understand.
reason. It's a reason why all this came out, and that's what I was asking you before. Is did you actually? So I guess I didn't read the full details of what she said, but I did kind of read into other stuff
Well,
because
enlighten me, bro, because
it's an actual reason why all this came out. So apparently there is a law that is about to expire
oh
in New
yeah,
York,
on
which
the
is called
23rd. Yeah.
which is called what, the Adult Survivors Law.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only did Cassie come out with this, one of Bill Cosby's accusers also like sued him, is trying to sue him again as this law is going to expire. So all of this came out, and Cassie mentioned that law as the reason for why she decided to come forward now with all the information.
I did see
So
that.
I
I
mean,
did see that.
the timing, and again, I know you feel strongly about
It's not to say
when.
that I feel strongly, because I understand that trauma is hard to talk about a lot of the time.
A
Things
lot
that
of
are
us have
traumatized,
suppressed trauma.
100%. And I understand the trauma, and it's hard to talk about, and it's hard to even, calculate in your mind what happened to you. I get that 100%. I'm not denigrating women at any point about, what they go through. And maybe even the counseling that they have to go through to actually deal with it. But 18 years is a long time, bro. 18 years is a long fucking time to say, yeah, this man did these things to me. That's a long time, bro. And if something is happening to you constantly, and you're apparently being trafficked, and SA is happening, and the R word is happening, and a lot of, you apparently blew up one of her boyfriend's cars, and a lot of things. If all of these things are happening to you, Kid Cudi is the guy. But if all of these things are happening to you throughout a span, why not report that shit? Like, that shit is it's drastic, dog. Like, he's doing these drastic things to you, and you can't just go to the cops and say, yo, like, this man is bugging out, and like, I need y'all to file some kind of charges. 18 years is a long time, D-Lo. It's a very, very long time, bro. I'm just saying.
I mean,
That's all I'm saying.
it
Almost
is a
2
long
decades,
time.
bro. Yeah.
It is a long time, but again, we as not just women, but the human race in general, especially in the United States, we hold on to and suppress a lot of stuff that happened to us.
Agreed.
In our
but to
younger
that
age,
magnitude, though.
I mean, yeah, you have a lot of stuff that comes out in families like around this time unexpectedly, when something crazy happens at a simple conversation, and then you hear Uncle Johnny was messing with old girl when she, with the niece when she was 12 years old, and she held on. I mean, or
true. Yeah.
little Bobby, I mean, it's stuff happens. So we hold on to it. I can't fault women for their timing, because we aren't here to tell them where and when to release that information, and how to handle that trauma that they dealt with. However, it does make the situation seem a little bit more suspicious when you say that you are coming out with this information because a certain law is set to expire. I think they also said with 6 months ago, she came to him for, and so this is the question I have is how did you come up with that number 30 million, and why not try to have him
prosecuted,
pull him up, prosecuted on criminal charges, right? But they said like 6 months ago, I believe, that she came to him or his camp or something like that. And again, I'm not saying anything negative about her, but they said that she came to him and said she was going to write a tell-all book, and he downplayed it as blackmail. And then now we have this, and then he settles quickly. So it's this situation just seems weird, man. I don't know.
It does seem weird.
I think it's truth to both sides. I as you said, it's probably not as drastic as she mentioned, but it probably is some type of abuse that took place in it. And rather than allowing all of this to unfold in front of the public, he quickly settled. and got it out of the way. But 50 Cent brought up a good point. Probably should have took care of this before she came out with this, because now everybody smells blood and like, oh, he a billionaire? He giving 30 million? Diddy did this, Diddy did that. I hope it doesn't happen, but when you do stuff like this, bro.
Yeah, because it's like, bro, like, I mean, maybe I don't know. Because again, going back to the Facebook conversation I was reading, the young lady was saying that she did it the right way because she didn't take it to criminal court because she probably didn't have enough evidence to win. But she knows that Diddy understands what he did. So she took it to civil court for a settlement. So that way civil court will allow her to get something out of the situation. Mm-hmm. Allow her to get something out of the situation. And because she knows that Diddy is going to try to save his public perception. Right. But just like you said, 50 Cent said, now this shit is in the public. And as fast as you settled, now it's going to be like all these other situations are going to come out. Just like the whole R. Kelly situations, like the whole Bill Cosby situation, where it's probably going to pile on top of pile on top of pile on. And it's going to be like, you should have probably took care of this whenever she came out and said she was going to do a damn tell all. Like, look, just go ahead and take this 30 milli. And
or better yet, you probably shouldn't have did it at all. If this is true.
Very true. Right. Like, because, bro, like, you got to be able, but again, when you get into that lifestyle, and I can't sit here and say that I would be the same way as Diddy getting into that lifestyle, because I have a lot more self-control than that. But they call it highly weird in the land of the devil for a reason. So you have to be able to, control yourself in that situation. You got all this money you don't know what to do with. And you throwing these elaborate parties and y'all doing all kinds of weird stuff. And Cassie was just along for that ride, and she got caught up in that lifestyle. And I feel bad for what happened to her. And Diddy is, I don't know, bro. It's just the quickness in the way this was settled lets me know that this nigga was guilty. That's just what it says to me. Something happened that he don't want to get out. And he just won that award at the BET Awards, and he's on top of the world right now. And he just don't want nothing to tarnish his public perception. And he went on ahead and said, you know what? Take this undisclosed amount of money and go on about your business. Don't write no book. Just shut the fuck up.
It was just a drop in the hat for him. We don't know. You said it's an undisclosed amount, or even if there's an amount even included, because you settled amicably. That could mean
it was friendly.
Anything. Yeah. He could have given her money or not, but it's just a lot, bro. But we'll have to see how this thing unfolds. But they demanded 30 mil, like D-Lo said, and whenever they settled yesterday, it was undisclosed. So who knows? It might have been maybe 30 mil. Might have been more. Might have been more. Yeah, true. Might not have been any. Who knows?
True.
Until it comes out, I'm sure it'll come out at some point in time.
Most likely. To get into the next segment, D-Lo, so this whole situation, this whole saga with Keke Palmer and Darius Jackson is continuing to the point now where she is alleging that he has been abusive to her. She's gotten a restraining order on him now, and apparently her mom has gotten involved, and it's a lot going on with them since the whole Usher situation and the baby has came. So, D-Lo, how do you feel about this whole Keke Palmer situation, man, and what's going on with her and Darius Jackson?
So when I first brought this up early in the week, brought the situation up to potentially talk about, I was unaware of what had recently happened or what transpired or what has come out recently against Darius and all of the abuse accusations, the video, the photographs, all that stuff. I was unaware of it. I thought it was just about Keke's mom going off on Darius because she went off on him. I just thought it was about that. I don't have much to say about this. Honestly, I don't have much to say about these next two segments. But what I will say is we as men have to do better, man.
Got to.
I don't know. I mean, stuff like this seems to happen all the time. And I guess what our friend told us about what the cops told him, like, this happens more than we understand. I guess they were right. But the exception in this case is that the accusations may be true. And at least that they appear to be. That's what the evidence appears to be is true. that he has been abusive to her. He has gone on a tangent since the Usher incident in Vegas. And at the time, it seemed like it was rightfully so. I don't think any man, especially a man that recently had a baby with a young lady, wants to see their significant other out wearing the stuff that she wore. I mean, and doing the things that she was doing. Again, we can't tell women what to do, so to speak. But if that's not what you want, then that's not what you want. I don't think most men will accept that. So at the time, it seemed as if it was right. He was in his right to do that. Now with all of this information coming out, it's like I guess it doesn't negate what he was going through, how he was feeling at the time. It doesn't invalidate his feelings, but it does paint a different picture of who he actually is in their relationship, and how he is portrayed now in their relationship. So I mean, I just think we as men have to do better. If you know you have a woman that is a bit more aggressive, and women, those type of women, know how to push your buttons in all facets of the relationship, whether it's in arguments, whether it's sexually, whatever the case may be, they know how to push your buttons. If you know you have that type of woman and you guys get into a misunderstanding and she starts to push your buttons, you might want to remove yourself from the situation, because it only gets worse from there. If she's going to continue to push your buttons till you do something drastic, and then that's where she got you. So I just think we have to do better as men. Again, if this is true, even if it's not true, we just talked about Diddy. Again, if that's true, but these type of allegations continue to come out. We continue to see this, so we just have to do better as men.
That's what are your thoughts, man? And I mean, my thoughts are kind of the same as yours, bro. Like from the way that the footage looks, it seems to me that a lot of what she's saying is correct. And if this is what she's going through, then by all means, get the restraining order, leave the man, do what you can to get away from somebody who was abusive to you. Mm-hmm. But it also goes back to, because they've been together for some years now. So
couple years, but she said that he's been abusive for 2+ years or so.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I was going. That's the point I was about to make. Was it goes back to what you said. You got to know who you're dealing with. You got to know who you with.
Yeah.
Like if this man has been like this since the beginning, why not leave early on in the relationship? Why not? Why go so far as to have a baby with this guy? If this man has been abusive to you the entire relationship, why do that? Why go along with it? As long as you did. What? You shaking your head? What's up?
I never understand that about women, and this is not a bashing session for women. As you see how I started, we as men have to do better. Yeah. But for women, I never understand how they could be in a situation and leave the situation, but then get lured back in, and then a baby happens, something more than what they anticipated happens, and where now they're kind of stuck. Which is why men are so persistent when it comes to pursuing women. Even if she's told him no at the outset of him pursuing her, you hear multiple stories, or countless stories really, of where women, and this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but it's kind of trying to paint a picture and draw a parallel. You hear countless stories of women saying, I didn't even like him when we first met. I had no interest in being with him, being intimate with him, so on and so forth. Lo and behold, they married, got 4 kids. Like, how does that happen? How do you go from I had no interest in being with him to the other side of things? Like, and that's why I'm not trying to put it on women, but this is why stuff like this happens, because you saw the red flags, or there's something early on that told you, I don't think he's right for me. But because he was persistent, because he kept hitting you up, because he made you feel special one time, you decided, let me give him a chance. And then you gave him a chance. You got some good things out of it, but now you also get some terrible things out of it too. So I never understand that about women.
Yeah. And on the flip side of that parallel D'Lo just drew, was you hear a lot of those stories and they turn out to be true love stories. You hear that too.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that I don't understand is, and it's a lot that goes into it, but the thing that if you're in an abusive relationship, sometimes I guess depending on the situation, it's kind of hard to leave for some women, depending on what you have invested in the relationship, what the maybe the mindset that you're in whenever you got into the relationship, maybe what the man might do for you in a different area other than what's going on. Like it's a lot that goes into that, but
trapped.
You sometimes some women do feel trapped in some of these situations. I do agree, and but like I said, she whenever they got together, Keke didn't need Darius, so because she was already a celebrity in her own right, so she didn't need him. So if he's been abusive this whole time, then why not just leave? Don't get to a point where you have a child with this man, and now you really, if he's as controlling, which is starting to seem like he actually is. From a lot of the allegations and the videos that's coming out, a lot of if he's this controlling and this type of man, then now it's just all coming to the surface after what happened. So it's like, I don't know, bro. She has every right to get the restraining order if these things are true, and the video does show that he has at some point been aggressively abusive to her. Right. And the kid is only 8 months old. You know what I'm saying? And the things
and
that
you got cameras in the house, you doing all that crazy stuff?
Come on, bro. But we gotta, just like you said, but we gotta do better. Yeah, we gotta do better, bro. Cause there's gotta be some form of self-control. And just like D-Lo said, if you're into a situation with a young woman that knows how to press your buttons, regardless of what those buttons that she's pressing, and very, very strong-willed individual, somebody who, you're going to have a debate with, and no matter how heated it's going to get, you're going to go back and forth. And if you have an urge in your body to strike a woman, just leave, bro. I've never had that urge. I'm not that type of guy. I've never in my life had that urge to hit any woman. I've never even put my hands on my daughter, let alone my girlfriend or future wife or whatever. I don't have that in me. I'm just not that type of guy. I'll leave before I get to that point. Now, I ain't saying leave the relationship, but I'll at least separate myself from that situation.
From the situation, 100%.
And then maybe we can come back and talk about it as adults, consent, casually, and say, okay, this is where we don't agree. Can we at least come to a conclusion or something? I'm gonna have to leave and come back before I get to any point to where
when things are cooled down, you all are thinking logically. You come back and it's like, all right, so this is how you feel. It may rev up again. You just remove yourself from it again until at some point in time you can talk about it. I 100% agree with you. You got to remove yourself because it never ends up well for the man when these situations occur.
Exactly, and it's just you gotta. But I don't have a lot to say about this either, other than this man has been threatening to do a lot of things to himself, let alone to her. Talking about if she left him, he was going to self-delete and a lot of different things.
That's mental and psychological abuse now. So I mean,
there you go. So it's a lot of abuse going on. She got to remove herself from it, and she's doing good to take the steps to get the restraining order number 1, and just to leave him altogether. Now he's trying to make a case that it's about the kid because he's only made one statement, and it was a statement about their son, but. He's I think a lot of what he's doing is about the kid and not more so about her. But a lot of what she has done that he doesn't like has made it seem like it's about her and not more so about the kid. So he just got to do better, man. Men as a whole, we have to do better because there's too many narratives out here that's pitting us against each other. And I talk to my lady about this all the time. Our generation has to change the narrative of it's man against woman because we can't be separate. We're meant to be together. So we have to change the narrative of this side is saying what a man should do, this side is saying what a woman should do, but nobody is talking about us being together. And our generation has to change the narrative, bro. It just doesn't make any sense for us to pit each other against each other because we need each other. If nothing us, in the sake of the civilization itself, we need each other. Because if we are separate, we're gonna die off first of all, because we can't multiply and procreate. So it's like we gotta be together, bro. And there's too many narratives about us being separate and what a man can do for a woman or what a woman can do for a man. This ain't the type of woman that you need to be with. This ain't the type of man you need to be with, and yada 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 yada. Just can we just be together, bro? That's all I have. That's it. It ain't that hard. Yeah. That's all I have.
We don't have any. We don't have any hard set traditions anymore because we don't, bro. We have access to so much information that it, once one person discovers something, they share it on the internet, which gets shared. And so because we don't have any hard set traditions, like you mentioned last week, we skip Thanksgiving, go straight to Christmas now. We don't really come together as a family, so to speak. We because we don't have those traditions, we don't have standards. Because we don't have standards, we can't come together and understand what it takes for us to function together. We would rather do it separately. And so I think that is where our issue, and which is why we started this podcast. It's a lot of reasons why we started a podcast, but to have a conversation, because we don't have conversations. It's just bickering back and forth, no solution oriented conversation. It's all just what one side's not doing, what the other side is doing or is not doing. So I don't know.
Yeah, I just hope in the future that a lot of us, men in general, just talking about men, get a different mindset about ourselves when it comes to our significant others and, women in general, because if we're going to get those hard set traditions back, we have to prove that ourselves are a part of those traditions. We have to be traditional ourselves. And once that happens, we can I ain't gonna say it's gonna force them to, but a lot of women will see that, okay, this man is going back to these traditional values. Why not we follow? Not all of them, not everybody's gonna do it. Not all men are gonna do it, not all women are gonna do it. But if we have a larger group of men trying to get back to bringing us together, then I think a lot of people will follow. But it honestly starts with us, bro. I think I was talking to my lady again. I know I keep saying that, but I was talking to her and I was like, yo, we were the last good generation, like generation of some kind of tradition. I know, we came up in the era of, we started the era of the internet. And, but before the internet was there, we still had some of those hard set traditions and values that didn't arise whenever the internet came. So we're the last good generation that can actually show generations moving forward what real traditional nuclear families look like. And situations like this is not showing that. And men who can't control their emotions are showing that. Like Darius, he's showing that he can't control his emotions and he doesn't need to be with a woman in the state that he's in, or even be a father in the state that he's in. You can still love your kid, but you can't love your kid without having some form of relationship or love for the mother of that child, especially if it's somebody who you're in a relationship with. So I don't know, man. It just seems sideways how the world is now, man, because we don't have, a lot of people can't control their emotions, bro. Everybody wants to be by themselves. Everybody wants to be independent, men and women, not just women. I know there's an independent woman, plenty of songs out there about independent women, which good for y'all. But we're not a race or species that is meant to be separate. We're not. So we need to find a way to come back together, man, because a lot of this shit is crazy to me. It just don't make no sense.
So somebody is trying to ruin the image that we have of Will Smith.
Not just his wife now. Not just his wife now, too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying. I'm saying the powers that be.
Yeah, not
those individuals are trying to ruin the image that we have of Will Smith because these last few years have been rough for him. Recently, one of his ex-assistants have come out claiming that he caught Smith being intimate with longtime friend Dwayne Martin. Again, Six, I don't really have much to say about this either. I do have something to say, but I don't have much to say about it. But what are your thoughts on this whole situation, the timing of the assistant coming out with this information, so on and so forth. Because I mean, really, this is an old ass rumor. If we're being honest, this was out like 3 years ago. But what are your thoughts on this?
I don't know what the universe has in store for Will Smith, but it's nothing good right now, bro. Because on the wake of Jada dropping her book, talking about a lot of different things and going on these interviews, this man, name is Brother Bilal. I don't know what his first name. Well, Bilal might be his first name, but brother, his former assistant went on an interview with Tasha K and said that Will and Dwayne Martin were doing some things, and the thing that bothers me is that Will is so quiet. Will is so quiet about all of these things. Like, he doesn't say anything when it comes to what Jada's been saying. He hasn't said anything about what Brother Bilal has said. He's just so quiet. Like he doesn't have anything to say about it. And I think and again, just like we said about Diddy, your silence says a lot, bro. And that's just to me. And I'm not saying that these allegations are true, but people have had their own perception of what his relationship was with Jada and his sexuality in general and the whole Hollywood situation. Like they do partake in some weird shit sometimes. But it's like, your silence says a lot, bro. If something ain't true, I'm speaking out to the high heavens, like, bro, this is a lie. Like, this is a lie. Don't believe everything that you hear. I'm going all out to prove that I'm either innocent or this picture you're trying to paint of me is not true. I'm screaming to them beyond the mountains about the shit. But your silence is like, is this really true? Like, did you really get your back blown out by this dude? Like, is this true? Like, is all this stuff that Jada's saying, is it true? Like, because you're not saying shit. Like, and I'm not saying that two wrongs make a right. I'm not saying that you need to come out and say things but you need to at least try to keep your name clean, clear your name. Like, because, as a man, your name and your word is all you have a lot of the time. So if you can't clear your name and keep your name clean, bro, like, everybody gonna be able to come out and just say whatever the fuck they want to say because they know Will Smith ain't gonna say shit. So it's like, I don't know, bro. I just think Jada said that they gonna sue because she says it's false. And I don't know if Dwayne Martin has came out and said anything. I didn't see him come out and say anything on the wake of this either. So it's like, I think Will need to speak up. He need to be more vocal about his own image himself. Because it's like, bro, your image is being tarnished out here in these streets. For the past 3 years, your image has been fucked. Like, the image that we had of Will Smith coming up from Fresh Prince and the mega movie star and all of these amazing movies that looked at as a role model and all these things has been tarnished over 3 years because you ain't saying shit. Like, people just out here talking dirt on your name and you just being quiet, bro. Like, come out and say something, bro. Defend yourself, nigga. Like, good Lord. But I don't, what you think, D-Lo? What's going on with it?
So I don't think he's necessarily been quiet. He hasn't been very vocal about it, but he hasn't been quiet, so to speak. I think you are right. Jada said that they were suing, and he himself has not said anything publicly, but there are rumors that said that he's thinking about, weighing his options on suing, defamation, and all that. So, I mean, yeah, he himself didn't say anything, but I think in the grand scheme of things, he hasn't necessarily been quiet about this situation. Dwayne Martin hasn't said anything about this situation. But as far as the ex-assistant, what the heck are you doing, man? Like, you are trash. Honestly, you are trash, because even if this is true, why are you exposing or trying to expose this now? Especially if you were considered a friend. Friends don't do that, regardless of what you go through. If this isn't publicly known, and you have that information and you haven't shared it with anybody or exposed it publicly until now, why are you exposing this now? You're not a friend. You were a person that was looking for a come up, because it's easy now to say all of this stuff, add fuel to the fire, because you know that it'll be more believed. Whereas back in the day, if again, assuming this is true, I don't know for sure. Again, you said it's a lot of speculations about his sexuality. Who really cares? 2023. I don't, I don't engage in that. I don't condone it, so to speak, but I don't judge anybody that's involved in either. But why now? Why now? You're as a friend, as an ex assistant, you're trash for this, and somebody is trying to ruin. He must have did something on the back end, got too high and mighty, something, I don't know, but somebody is trying to ruin Will Smith from coming at him from all angles. His wife, now his ex assistant, who was supposed to be a friend. It's crazy, man. I don't have much to say about it, because it kind of makes you feel kind of bad talking about stuff. I wouldn't say bad, but it makes you feel kind of weird talking about stuff like this, especially when we don't have any cold hard facts. It's just he say, she say, and we don't really engage in stuff like that. But it's like,
it's just
what are we supposed to do?
We the only person that can do something is Will, bro, to be perfectly honest. But I mean, it doesn't help that Tisha Campbell came out and said that's one of the reasons why her and Dwayne Martin got divorced, is because she thought he was in the closet too. So
When she said that?
She said that on she said it on Instagram, and she said that they filed for divorce in 2018, not because she thought he was in the closet, but that was one of the speculations from her as well, because she thought Dwayne Martin was in the closet.
I got to see that.
Yeah.
Because when I read it, she hadn't said anything ever about that particular, his sexuality. So, and I could just miss that, but I mean, it's just a lot, bro, because I mean, and ain't nothing wrong with it. If you are part of the community, if you're part of that community, that's, who you are and your sexuality has nothing to do with us. As long as you don't force that shit on me, be who you want to be. I don't care. Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I just wonder why Will just don't come out and say nothing, bro. Like he makes no public statements. He, whenever when he slapped Chris Rock, he gave an apology, but it seemed like an ad. It was like, it's just a lot of shit going on. We talked about that back in the day too. So it's like, it's just a lot, bro, because I just need Will to defend yourself, bro. You played Ali, a boxer who fights. Fight, nigga. Like, just fight, bro. Like,
you saved the world.
Yeah, you saved the world against aliens, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You were the last man on Earth, and I Am Legend surviving. You're not surviving right now.
Superhero.
Yeah, you
superhero.
You played a superhero. You played the last man on Earth. You saved the world. You played Ali, who was a fighter and an activist. Like, you did all of these movies of strong gentlemen, and you ain't being strong right now. Defend yourself, bro. Defend yourself. He not fighting. And I don't like the fact that he's not fighting. And maybe there's some solace in being silent, but I don't know. It couldn't have been me. It couldn't be me. Because if somebody come out and tell me I was bent over a couch, I'm like, if you don't shut the fuck up, you need to stop playing. Don't play with me, bro. Don't play with me. Because we might have to run the ones if you're trying to talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we gonna have to fight. I'm gonna have to fight you. We gonna have to run the one. I need my one-on-one. Because now you bullshit. Now you threatening my manhood. And again, ain't nothing wrong with that. But like me, if I know it ain't true, I'm fighting for my manhood. I'm fighting for my name. I'm not being quiet like Will Smith. Period.
Yeah, it's just I think it's a tough situation to discuss, because it's just speculation, truly speculation. Again, like I said, entering into this segment, I think something like this came out. The exact two same people came out a couple years ago, so it's not entirely new. But because of what all we've seen and heard about Will or with Will the last few years, it's just adding fuel to the fire, and I don't like it. But
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is.
It is what it is, bro.
Sticks, episode 44 is a wrap.
Man.
It almost didn't happen today. Yeah, it almost didn't happen today.
But I'm glad you feel okay, bro. And we were able to come on here and had these conversations, man. I appreciate you, bro. Fighting.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you know, like I said, and it's one monkey don't stop no show. That's what it is. So that's Goody Mob. If you don't know. But yeah, so it didn't happen, but I'm glad we came up here and toughed it out and got things done. We are creeping up on 50. So I guess we will have to figure out what we're going to do. It was supposed to be at the new year. I think it's going to be a little bit after that now because it's
a little bit after, yeah.
Well, maybe it might be right on.
No, it might be right on the new year.
If we continue to do it how we've been doing it.
Because we still got 6 weeks in the month, so it could be, yeah.
In the year, not the month, bro.
You're right. I told you I ain't lazy. I ain't lazy.
Yeah. But yo, thanks for tuning in to Too Complex. Remember that life is short and oftentimes complex, but when it becomes too complex, don't be afraid to lean on those that you love to help you find simplicity and balance in life. You can tell I'm sick. My voice is cracking all over the place.
All good.
Stay prayed up in this crazy world. A few requests sent or thrown above can return you peace and sanity. We want to thank you for loving and supporting this podcast. It means a lot to us. We're sending our love right back to you. Don't forget to subscribe on whatever podcast platform you listen to and follow us on all the social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikToks. Probably should look into getting on more social media platforms too.
Maybe.
We got to do better. I have to do better about posting stuff on there, but we have to do better. But we probably need to look into that. Neither here nor there. But yeah, make sure you follow us on all of those social media platforms. And until next time, as we always say, we'll see you when we see you. Salute.